Well, collectors, here we are again. The first video of the new year of 2025. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. And now that's all over and it's time to get back into business here. And hopefully the hobby's going to be really good in this new year. I think it will be. At least I'm all set for it to be, and I'm sure you guys are too. I hope you've enjoyed these videos the last couple of years, and I guess this will probably be our just about our third year doing them, isn't it, Ob? Just about, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and this is video number 158, I think, Ob, right?
Yeah, 158.
Well, there's 50 weeks in every year, is that right? Or
yeah, 52 actually.
52. Yeah. So we're 158. That is 3 years worth.
Yeah.
So okay.
Give or take. Yep. Who's counting?
That's pretty good. Well, I think we ought to maybe have a little pop to get started. What do you think, Ob?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. As is our tradition, guys. You'll have one, won't you, Ob?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yep. There we go. Yep. A little there for Ob to get him going. Should be enough for the first one, Ob. I'll have a little hit here. Just a teeny, not too much. Yeah. And a little wham to cut it back a little bit. There we go. Yes, sir.
So were you at Times Square for New Year's Eve, Pop?
Gee, I must have had so much to drink that I forgot.
You forgot? Yeah, okay.
No, I haven't. In fact, I've never been there for New Year's Eve. It seems to me the kind of place you want to avoid unless you really want to get in trouble. But you can't even drink while you're there. I mean, they got police all over the place, and what would New Year's be without having a pop?
Yeah.
So here we go. Here you go, collectors, to 2025.
Oof, man.
And what is this, number 158, did you say, Ob?
That's what you said, yep. 158.
Yeah, 158. I think I'll celebrate the new year with one of these cigars from my friend in Puerto Rico. The last time I smoked one of these, I think there was quite a cloud, wasn't there? Yeah. So I'll try another one.
Carlos.
Yeah. All right, let's see how this baby is. This is from Carlos Ruiz. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Times Square, it's no fun. You can't do anything. And it's like being at the Jersey Shore. You go to the beach, you can't smoke, you can't drink, you can't play frisbee, you can't have
your dog.
You can't take your dog, you can't have a radio, and you pay for it too, on top of everything else. Yeah. Gee, thanks.
Yeah, another good one, Carlos. I like these. These are made in Puerto Rico, so they're quite good. A lot of smoke too on this one too.
Can't see you through the fog there.
Oh, that's probably better. Well, what we'll do here to get started, I wanted to show you a collector by the name of Alex Sanders. Sent me an email to show me what he recently acquired, and I thought it was so interesting that I'd like to share it with you guys. I know there's a lot of Army dagger collectors out there, but look what our friend Mr. Sanders has acquired. That is an Alcozo high lift Army dagger with the original paper issue sack. First time I've ever seen that. The high lift, you know, is we call it that because the wings on the crossguard go outward more so than any other crossguard I know of, and it's a style that Alcozo introduced in 1941. It's kind of a late time to do that, and you can see the bag has the proper trademark too of Alcozo for that period. It's the AWS, which represents the time when Alcozo was nationalized and the NSDAP took over the firm. So that's quite a dagger. And then there's a couple of close-ups of the, there's the pommel. You can see it's that pommel that goes outward more so than any other pommel. Beautiful white grip on it. Any one of these high lifts I've ever seen have a white grip, so I assume that's what was issued with them. And there you can see on the crossguard of this dagger how the wings come way out over the eagle. So we call it the high lift crossguard. So I congratulate Alex because not only is the dagger in full mint condition, but that's the first time I've seen an Alcozo bag from this period, and it even has the stock number of the dagger on there, which was 1845 was the stock number.
That's a stock number? It's not a model number?
Model number, yeah.
Model number, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I should say model number.
Okay.
So I find that very interesting, and I thought...
what, no tag?
Yeah, everything but an issue tag. Well, that could probably be acquired, and that would really set it off.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Isn't that a neat thing, collectors?
I can't believe how late they made them. So
Yeah.
is there Alcozos made before then, or they just started getting into it then, or with the high lift?
No, Alcozo started making army daggers in 1935, 36.
But you said the high lift didn't start till 41.
41, yeah.
That's weird.
Alcozo actually had 4 different crossguards, this being the last type that you'll see.
So if you see it, it's late.
Oh, it's always late, yeah.
And it's going to have that AWS instead of a regular one. I get it.
Somebody sent me one of these, which I can show you, but I know it's wrong, and I'll show you why. If you'll just give me a break, I'll get the dagger. I think it's right in my safe someplace. Yeah, collectors, somebody sent me this army dagger a couple of years ago, and if you look at it, you can see it's an Alcozo high lift crossguard.
Yep, sure.
Just like the piece there. Can you see that, Ob? How those wings
jumps
are?
Out, yep.
Yeah, looks like it's in the scabbard backwards, but what do I know?
No, it's fine.
Is it fine? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, you're messing me up.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and it's now, and you can see there that's a proper Alcozo pommel, and this is the proper scabbard too. For what it's worth, Alcozo scabbards, they have flatter type screws that hold the throat in, but the thread is smaller than any other thread used on daggers. So if you're missing an Alcozo screw, you can't just put a screw in from another army dagger because it won't fit. It's a smaller thread. So there you go. And the reason I was saying that this dagger is not correct, when you pull it out of the scabbard, you'll see that it has a trademark that was used. The last time that trademark was used was 1939. And we know that the high lifts weren't made till 1941. So we know that somebody put a different blade in there. And now I can show you why they put a different blade in, because it's one of these etch jobs, which is no good. So the trick here to correct this piece, which is easy enough, you just have to find a proper blade with the right trademark on it.
So that blade's no good?
That blade's no good, no. Huh. No. Yeah, we see a lot of those things. So there you see a couple of things that maybe you didn't know about.
That's
I don't know.
a parts dagger, basically, with a
Parts
beat blade.
dagger, yeah. So I think it's interesting, though, and you know, while we're talking about parts things and all, there's a couple things that you know, I sometimes wonder, are daggers that are post-war made, are they collectible, and is there a spot in a collection for them? So a lot of people say no, some say yes, but things like
it's called a filler piece.
yeah. Now, like this piece, for instance,
Oh boy,
it's completely outrageous.
but
With
cool.
the brass swastika, the eagle in the ferrule, and then to add to
Let me see
it,
the ferrule again, real fast.
what's
Let me
that?
see the ferrule.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. And look at that clamshell too. That's,
Yeah.
Okay.
this is all made to gotcha. That's what it's made for. You'll almost never see a swastika on a clamshell on an original forestry cutlass. And then to top it all off, it's got this
of course.
this fantastic gold open eagle on a artificial damask blade. And then, of course, to set it all off, you have a presentation by Hermann Goering himself. So this is the kind of stuff that a lot of these pieces will be marked with the maker lunar.
Yeah.
And they were made in the 60s, and they were made to deceive. I'm not saying that lunar themselves made them to deceive, but perhaps someone ordered them from lunar in order to deceive. But you look at this,
guys,
though.
You know, the first guys to start with an emerging hobby to ruin it. You know.
Yeah. But when you look at this, the blades were made by a legitimate factory, and the quality is just it's just outstanding, absolutely
You
outstanding.
think you just found a treasure? Oh my God! Would you look at this thing?
And in a way, it is a treasure because the workmanship is just fantastic. So.
Well, if that was made in 1960, what's that for?
Yeah.
That's 65 years old now.
Yeah, but it's still not
Still not done
not
right,
19,
yeah.
not 19 or 1930. But my question is, we know that these are not period pieces, but they're so beautifully made and so well done and made by a legitimate factory. So they're nice to just look at or have as an interesting aspect to a collection. But I'm telling you, boy, it'd be pretty hard not to get jumped into buying that thing when you first see it if you don't have any experience.
If you're starting out, you don't know any better.
Yeah.
And you'll come across that.
And then you say to the guy, "Oh, how much do you want for that?" "Oh, gee, I'll take $1,200 for it." You know, you're ripping your pocket trying to get your money out, so that's a piece like that is interesting, and another piece that kind of falls in the same category.
The garbage can, you mean?
The garbage can, yeah. Well, this is on the outside a fantastic Luftwaffe dagger. The dagger itself is completely original. But when you see the blade, it's probably the best Damascus blade I've ever seen. It's just fantastic. Look at that in there. It looks like it's moving. It's so beautiful.
That would be a maiden hair? Or?
No. That's the
Turkish?
Turkish, yeah.
Turkish. Okay.
And this was the hardest Damascus of all to make. It's very, very beautiful. And then on the reverse of it, you'll see it in gold. On these, it says Ech Damast P. Mueller.
Wow.
Probably hard to see with the crossguard there.
I can get some of it anyhow.
But of course, Paul Mueller was one of the best Third Reich Damascus, if not the best. And in the 60s, he was hurting to make a living, and Mueller made some of these blades and put them into original mounts. And this is what you have here. Okay, is it a reproduction? Not really. It's original mounts with a 1960s Damascus blade made by Paul Mueller. But it's the same way he made the Damascus in the 30s, and it's just fantastic. It's just beautiful.
Well, how do you know that for sure?
I do. There's a number of these pieces that are known. In fact, Tom Johnson knew Paul Mueller while he was still alive, and talked to his daughter after he was gone, and she acknowledged that he made a lot of these things in the 60s. But what an extraordinary, beautiful thing. So I like to just take it out and look at it. I keep it in my collection. I know it's not Third Reich,
but it's still the
but
same.
it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, you can legitimately have some things in your collection that may be post-war, but if the workmanship is there and the quality, they're still very interesting things. So I think they are anyhow, and I love this piece very much. I never saw a Damascus blade that was prettier than that. So, here we go. A couple of those things. I hope that interests you collectors. I don't know. I thought I would show you. And so we got another thing I want to talk about a little bit. I talked about these books a couple of years ago when they first came out, and they're called The Collector's Guide to the Hitler Youth Knife. There's 2 volumes, and they were written by Nathan Hogel, who's the son of Paul Hogel, and they have a very good business based in, I think they're in Toronto, aren't they, Ob?
I think so. They're definitely in Canada.
In Canada, yeah. But the reason that I want to talk about these, the books are incredible. What Nathan has done here, he has taken virtually every type of known Hitler Youth knife and not only pictured it, but there's 4 or 5 different pictures of each piece, and he talks about what type of rivets the knife has. I myself, for years, when I look at Hitler Youth knives, and even in my descriptions of them, I like to say whether the rivets are aluminum or if they're nickel or brass. And the reason I do that is because each manufacturer used his own types of rivets. And if you find one piece that, say, has aluminum rivets, and you can look in Hogel's book and see that that piece normally has nickel rivets, it's time to look a little further. So just a little thing like that can save you a lot of money. And what he's done here, just to give you an idea, here's an example of just one page here where he's showing a Hitler Youth knife with a motto by Ed Wusthof. So he shows the front of it and the reverse of it, along with the scabbards, and a close-up of the insignia, a close-up of how it's marked with the maker mark and an RZM mark. But then he also talks about, put my glasses on here so I can see a little bit better, hopefully. He talks about the base material. That's another thing with Hitler Youth knives. The base material on the earlier ones is steel, nickel plated. On the later ones is pot metal, nickel plated. And you can tell very easily with a magnet which is which. But if you have a nickel plated steel piece that's supposed to be pot metal, then maybe you should look further. But you look in Nathan's book here and he'll tell you what the material was supposed to be. Very, very valuable information. So, and the way he's got it all set up, it's easy to look up. He's got all the manufacturers of the Hitler Youth knife, and all the RZM codes and the pages on which they're listed, so you can look up the knife that you have to see how it compares with Paul's and Nathan's piece. Now I'll give you an example of how it can be used. What did I do with that? I had a couple of knives. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Let's say, put this aside for a minute. Let's say that that you just got this knife. You ordered it and you received it from the guy that sent it to you. Well, need that. So we look at this knife, and it's got good nickel plating all over it, good insignia, nice paint to the scabbard, and good leather and so forth. And then we take it out. It also has a very, very nice blade, and on the reverse of it, it just has an RZM mark, RZM M713. Okay, so you think, aha, now what do I do now if I have the Hogel book? Well, we want to look up RZM 713 if we can. See if I can find it here. Where are we?
Everybody knows that's a shuttle hopper.
Yeah. I'm looking on the wrong page, I guess. RZM 713. Oh, yeah. RZM 713, we know, was made by Arthur Schuttelhofer. And on page 255, we're going to be able to see a picture of it. So I marked this page here so we could look at it. And voila, we look on the page, and it shows that that the hilt mounts are plated over pot metal. You can tell it's pot metal by the looks of the metal showing underneath the plating, and I think he probably indicates that here. It's zinc. He calls it zinc. I call it pot metal, but it's the same thing. So, and earlier ones were not made that way, but let's see, just for the hell of it, is this is magnetic or not? No, this is not magnetic, so this is made out of zinc or pot metal, as he calls them. If he talks about the rivets, he's got them as steel. So let's see, are they steel? That's an easy thing to find out. Yep, they stick to the magnet, see? Now if these rivets were aluminum, you'd start to wonder, gee, is this correct? So then on the blade, we know it's a no motto, we know it's a later piece, and all we have is the RZM mark, but it's a large open round circle over the code M713.
And it's all offset too.
It's offset, yeah. And you can see in his pictures here.
Let's see if I can get that.
Can you catch that logo, Ob? Or RZM?
Oh, sorry, I stabbed you.
And then the picture's right there. And then you can also look at the insignia. It has kind of a goldish look around it in the picture, and you can see it's the same there too. And then with the scabbard Scabbard has 2 rivets in the picture, and the scabbard has 2 rivets there. So just think, if you're a Hitler Youth knife collector and say you decide to collect a couple of dozen of these things, every one you can look up in the Hogel book to make sure that it's original. I just think this is fantastic, and just think of the work that Nathan must have put in here to do all this.
Did a very good job.
To acquire all these Hitler Youth knives and so forth. I mean, it's really fantastic.
I believe if any collectors out there are interested in the book, they just have to go to Lakeside Trader, and it's offered on their website.
They can do that, or I've talked to Lakeside and said I'd like to have a few of the books to offer myself, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, but I'll show you something else that can be used. Now remember, there's 2 volumes, this thing, they're huge books. And in the second volume, I have, you collectors might remember in the last episode or the episode before, someone had sent in 8 or 10 Hitler Youth knives, and I'll just move this out of the way. And some of them were very unusual. Now, one of the knives that was very unusual was this particular example. The condition of it is extraordinary, really beautiful. I don't know whether it's a steel base or zinc. No, it's a zinc base. The rivets are steel. And you'll notice the scabbard is a bit pointier than normal. See, it's a little bit pointier. Now we take the knife out. You didn't see that,
Yeah,
Ob?
I got it. Yeah, you're fine.
Got it?
Yep.
We take the knife out, and holy mackerel, it's got a Bowie type blade. Now, probably a lot of collectors, when they saw this a couple weeks ago, that's not original. I never saw that before. They never could have made that. Well, we shall see. Mr. Hogel here, he calls these knives clip point knives, and he says they were made by WKC. And here in his book there is a clip point knife, the same way, same thing with the ricasso.
Wait a second, it actually isn't. Or am I seeing it wrong? Yeah, it's just it looks like
it's the same. The point's a little better here than that one, but and here it is here too also. That's maybe a better shot of it. Yeah. But this is he indicates that these were made by WKC, and I mentioned when I first opened these a couple weeks ago that my friend in England, Andrew Gates, has one of these where the WKC knight head can be seen just where the blade is going into the hilt.
That's cool.
So Andrew was absolutely correct about that, verified by Nathan. Andrew felt that these blades were probably used in boot knives in the 20s by WKC, and they were just using them up. And then something else that I think is really interesting, written in here too, Nathan says, the well-respected author Ron Winan, you guys know of Ron Winan if you don't know him personally, had acquired 2 of these clip point forward knives from motel buys around 1980. One, he said, was purchased from the veteran who was in the Soligan area. So what this does, I mean, it absolutely authenticates these knives and suddenly makes them a very strong collectible instead of, gee, I wonder if this is real or not. So it's something that once you know it's an authentic piece, and if it's in the kind of condition that this piece is, what a wonderful addition to a Hitler Youth collection. And you wouldn't know that if you didn't have the Hogel books. This is how books like these can be so valuable to the collector. The books they're not cheap. It's $200 for both books.
That's not
But
bad.
all you got to do is verify, like if you had one of these knives and were able to verify it in the book, you've certainly paid for your expense on the books.
What's he got there on the cover? Is that an H.J. Leader Marine?
It's a Marine, yeah, it's a Marine Hitler Youth, and we've had a couple of those. They're
That's,
some people say they're Marine Youth. Some say they're a Hitler Youth General. I think the thinking is that they belong to Hitler Youth Generals, not Marine leaders. I don't know whether we'll ever be able to actually verify that, but
Well, tell who will
these
say.
are real daggers, and I've known they're real for 40 years because I once purchased one from a Philadelphia veteran directly.
Why don't we see what Hugel says about them? We'll check it out.
I've also said, since there's a gold Hitler Youth Leader on the cover of Volume 2 of Hugel's book, why can't we talk about that a little bit? And we can. There we go, Rob. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
I only had a half a drink.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
and
jeez.
pour a Rick cigar one out.
Hey, take it easy.
Yeah, I've mentioned that they show a gold Hitler Youth Leader dagger.
I thought it was Marine, but apparently I'm
Well,
wrong.
Over the years, there's been a lot of conjecture about gold Hitler Youth Leader daggers, whether they existed or not, and I, for a fact, know they did because I had the pleasure of buying one personally from a Philadelphia veteran many years ago. But Paul and Nathan in their book, they have an excellent chapter on Hitler Youth Leader daggers that cover the early Eichhorn versions with the trademark on them, and then the later RZM pieces. There's one with the RZM, and then they talk about the Horster pieces. And these are pictures where you can really see what the fittings are supposed to look like, and this will make you avoid those frequent repros that you run into with these knives. But then also he has a section on the gold Hitler Youth Leader. He says in the copy that the author is unaware of any period documentation that mentions the existence or provides any regulations for the gold Hitler Youth Leader dagger. But then again, he goes on to mention that that he personally acquired a gold high leader from a veteran's family in January of 2011. And like I say, I have also, so I know they're original daggers. The only conjecture about them is, are they for a Marine leader of the Hitler Youth, or are they a very high leader of the Hitler Youth? We don't know that, so maybe someday if some period documentation comes out as to who they were awarded to, that would help. But information like this you're not going to find anywhere else.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it Schirach, von Schirach, who ran the Hitler Youth?
Yeah,
Did he have a gold dagger?
I think he did, yes.
Okay, well then
I
it's a
think he
high
did.
leader, basically.
Yeah, I think he did. We'd have to look at
But there's not too many color
photographs.
photographs, yeah.
Yeah. But again, I'm not trying to push these books on you. I'm just trying to tell you that if you're really interested in Hitler Youth knives, they are a tremendous investment. I know they're expensive, but just what they save you on the first thing that you can find in them is worth the money.
No, the book's well done, and he did a very,
Oh,
very
it's
good
great.
job. I mean, it's a
And
great
while I'm
book.
talking about it too, a lot of collectors, you know, you start looking at, oh, the SS stuff is getting so expensive, and I just can't afford it. Well, you know, we still see lots of nice HJ knives in the $500 to $1,000 area. More than that if they're in really super condition. But you could start, you know, with just $600, $700, $800. Start buying youth knives and start learning about them. Boy, in a few years you could have a collection of God knows how many. And the way things are going, youth knives are very, very, very popular, and prices have gone up a lot in the last few years. Have they not, Ob?
Well, I certainly have.
Yeah,
We got a
we've-
really
we've
nice
seen
one.
that.
They,
We've seen
yeah.
that.
Hitler Youth Leaders too.
So-
And if you got a pair of straps with them,
Oh
forget
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
forget it. But that's a good place for many collectors to get started. Each piece doesn't necessarily break the bank, and then in a couple of months you could save up a couple hundred more and get another one, and before you know it, you can have really a great collection, and you can also become an expert with them, especially with the use of these Hogel books. Well, enough said on that. If you're interested in copies, I have them, or you can get them from Hogel directly. What's he call his company? The
Lakeside Trader.
Lakeside Trader, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, Paul. I didn't mean to.
Sorry, Paul.
So that's, I think that's interesting to most collectors, because, I mean, I'll bet you 2 years ago, I'll bet we had 80 or 100 Hitler Youth knives. Is that not true? I mean, they were just piled up. And the interest on them has really, really increased. And today we're lucky to have half a dozen of them in stock. So
Yeah, they were the affordable piece, and now they're just like everything else. Remember, we had about 300 SA daggers a couple years ago too.
yeah, but it just shows the interest that's in the hobby anymore.
You can't keep a piece of SS dagger in stock. It's just gone.
Yeah. Well, anyhow,
No, I have one.
well, you guys do what you want, and you got to do what you like. And I get so many letters. What should I collect? You know, I don't know what you should collect. You should collect what you like. The main thing is start. So many guys wonder what they should collect for years and never do anything. So that's no good either. I thought another thing that might be fun. We get a lot of comments on the videos, and I thought I would just go through a couple of them because they're kind of fun. This man Brady Dog says nothing's glowing brighter than Tom at the end of his video. I wonder if he's implying that I'm drinking too much. Another person, Joseph Plelly. Hi, what do you use as a mixer for your drinks? Well, we use what we call Wham here, but it's really nothing but Diet Pepsi. And we like to drink Imperial blended whiskey. Right, Ob?
That's right.
Yep.
I think I will now. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And then another man, Frank Sweeney, he writes, in 1995, I bought a Boker SS dagger from Tom for $1,800. Today, the same dagger is worth $4,500. It's a beautiful piece and still in the same pristine condition it was when I purchased it. Thanks, Tom. Well, there you are, collectors. That's where you can see that the value of things today compared to what they were in the past is not just inflation. There's real growth in value in collecting good items. And it probably is very true that a Boker SS in 1995 did sell for 1800, and you guys all know today they do sell for 45 or more if they're nice. So that's a very good point, Frank. Thank you for that. Next, Jim Rutherford says, I find myself biting my nails whenever Tom is handling things. Gee, I wonder what he means by that, Ob.
I don't know.
I guess it was that Aulic porcelain or something that made him nervous. I don't know.
You make people really nervous with
Yeah.
that cigar going.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to burn something. This next man, Liquid Skis, 88. That's his email. Stop smoking. All that pollution. Tell your old man, Ob, to stop that. Not healthy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the advice.
Yeah.
I'll take it into account.
Better stop smoking those cigars, okay, Pop?
Yeah, I'm going to stop right now.
Yeah, you stop right now, you'll live forever.
Yeah. I don't think I want to, Ob.
What, live forever or quit smoking?
Live forever.
Both.
Both, yeah. All right. Here's a guy that asks a question I guess we can all wonder about. This is Engineer 1897. The Luftwaffe dagger brought something to mind. We know about Hans Ulrich Rudel's medals and RK documents, but what happened to them? One of his wives sold them in the early 60s, I think. I saw a newsreel of Rudel wearing a dagger a few months ago. Did we know what happened to it? It'd be great to see it in the new year passing through Whitman's cellar. Well, that's for sure. It would. The thing with daggers worn by famous heroes, if their name wasn't on it and there's nothing from the family connected to it, who knows? Some guy with a whole collection of 2 daggers, one Army and one a Luftwaffe, could very well have Rudel's dagger and not know it's his. That's a shame when we don't have any way to document things, but it does make your head scratch. And can you imagine if you had Rudel's dagger and didn't know it?
Yeah, it'd be convenient if they just numbered every one of them for one.
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
know,
work
wouldn't
that
that be
way.
great? But that's just not the way it is.
It's just not that way. So, see what else here. Here's a German that writes me, Adam 20. He says, Du bist ich locker. Ich würde gern mit der Talschen groß aus Germany.
Boy, your German
And
is fantastic.
my German's horrible, as you can hear. But he says, Du bist echt locker, translates to, you are really relaxed. So, it's a casual way of saying someone is laid back, easygoing, and not easily stressed out. Well, is that me, Ob? I don't know.
Sure.
I guess it is. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
You're obviously not shy to the camera, I'll give you that much.
No, no, you're right. I'm not.
Maybe it's all those Imperials, I don't know.
Well, on that relaxed comment, I think I'll have another pop here. You all right for the minute, Ob?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You okay? Yeah. So here we go.
You got any boxes, or you just going to talk all day long?
Oh, I got some. I'll get to it. It's the first video of the new year. I thought I'd do something a little different. And the problem is the guys write all these things, and I don't know how to answer them. I'm not good on the computer, so now we can.
These are comments off of our video website, I say. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Haven't heard anything too nasty yet.
No, yeah, sometimes we get some nasty stuff. No, nothing nasty here. Here's a man, Brady Dog. He says, on flags, why is it sometimes the swaz's tips are up, down, side to side, and other times rotated to a 45-degree angle? Did the Nazis not have an official way the swastika should be hung on their flags? Well, that's a kind of a good question. Ab and I have discovered that when the flag is the immobile type, where it's just straight and not curved, we find that most of those flags like that are early.
Yeah, they're an early flag.
They're early flags.
It goes from like a square to a diamond.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
When the war broke out.
And
Yeah.
well before the war, but
Yeah.
but the so-called square ones, as Rob calls it, they were the first types that were going to be used, and the party did fight for years on which way the swastika should be and so forth. And finally, the mobile type is what you see the most. But then again, on the AH silverware,
Yeah.
it's the other type. So they never really decided on which was which.
Like same thing with the diplomat daggers and the government official daggers. The eagle goes one way on one, the eagle goes the other way on another one.
Well, that was purposeful.
And there, how many eagles with a swastika, clutching a swastika, are there throughout the entire Reich? There must be 1,000 different versions of that.
Well, they it's true they could never come to agreement on which way the head should face on the banners and standards and things like that. Even the famous silver AH frames that he gave out with his picture.
Again, yeah, same thing.
The eagles on some of them, the head's looking on the right, and the others are looking to the left. So they still. So that's really a good question, Brady Dog, and the answer is we don't have one, I guess.
Well, no, it's not true. I mean, the static one, as you say, is early, no doubt about it. You'll never see the diamond-shaped swastika early. Ever.
That is true, yeah.
So it just changed. I don't know.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't think it much matters. The symbol was still the symbol no matter which way you cock it. So, all right, let's see what else. If there's any other pertinent things here. Here's another guy, the Arizonian. I'm shocked the Alec didn't break.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Whitman got lucky. Ha ha. Yeah, I got lucky. Here's a guy that his name is John Zezut or something. And he, almost every video, he writes, "Yes, it's time again to enjoy a relaxing tumbler of Old Born Owl bourbon." Did anybody, did you ever hear of Old Born Owl? It must be terrific stuff, because this man is addicted to it.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, boy.
Does it come with a bottle of aspirin?
I don't know. Maybe some of you collectors know that brand, Old Born Owl Bourbon. I haven't heard of it myself, but here's a guy here. He says, "Hey, I have the same sweater, very soft and comfy." I guess he's talking about that Perry Como
Perry
sweater
Como, yeah.
I wear once in a while.
That's our man Mike P. He's like, who is this, Perry Como over here?
Yeah. Here's a guy. Hi, did Holler do etch blades for Arthur Everett's?
Who?
Yeah, Holler. Yeah, they did. Many Everett's etched bayonet blades have a Holler etch, and apparently Holler lent it to them for that purpose. And here's just one more, I guess, here. This is from a man named Walt Glow that I knew many years ago, and he says, "Hey Tom, I worked under you in the mid-70s. If you remember, I was the person who collected arrowheads in South Jersey." Yeah, I still remember that. Arrowheads were something you could find if you could still find them, I think, if you walked around the woods and all in South Jersey.
Yeah, I was at somebody's house when I was doing my other job before I have this great occupation. But this guy had an amazing collection of arrowheads. This whole basement full of them.
And a lot of them he found too.
Yeah, oh yeah, him and his father.
It's not just coincidence that they're in the shape of an arrowhead, right? They were made that way.
Yeah, they were made that
So
way.
they come from the Indians.
Yeah, from all the creeks and everything
Yeah.
in South Jersey and Jersey.
Yeah.
But man, there's a ton of them.
So there's something you can collect for free if you don't mind rooting around the woods and rustling through leaves and digging up dirt, I guess. And who knows, every once in a while you might find one. All right, collectors, we'll see what we got here that came in this week. Didn't get too much because it's, you know, it's a holiday week, but we got a few things. Let's see what this is. This is coming from my friend Andrew Gates in England. Let's see what this is. Wow. Oh my. Oh, he says he's been looking for in-wear pictures. Yeah, he does in Europe. And then he sends them to me when he accumulates some. So
Man, there's nothing better than that.
let's maybe see what we got here. That looks like an RLB being worn to me, Ob.
Yeah, sure
That's a
does.
very good picture of that were blowed up.
Yeah, that's original. That's no doubt about
It's
that.
an enlisted man's RLB. That's a rare picture.
Is it first model or second? Can't tell.
You'd have to blow it up.
Okay.
Let's see, and there's something on the other side, maybe? No, that just, okay.
What's it say? RLB dagger.
Yeah. Doesn't say whether it's first or second. I think it's a second by the looks of the button, but you have to blow it up. Here's a very good shot of an RAD man with a bullet hanger.
Yeah,
See that?
Look at that. That's nice. Yeah.
See, collectors, you can't beat original photos. What's there is there. It's true. So that's what they look like being worn.
And is that a bullet hanger, you think? Or
Oh,
is it-
yeah, no, it's definitely a bullet hanger.
Yeah, you can see it behind
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here's another one. You can't see a lot of it, but it looks like an RAD officer wearing a officer dagger. You can't see a lot of the dagger, but I see it there. That's a pretty nice shot, too.
On his wedding day.
Yeah, he's marrying another one of those real beauties.
Gorgeous journey.
Stop that up. That's not nice. And then here's a group of NSKK guys. I guess they are. What do you think, Ob? Is that the first model helmet they're wearing? And the guy on the end's wearing a dagger. Is that what that is, Ob?
I guess, Bob. Gotta blow it up.
Yeah.
That's really a small photograph.
Yeah. Here's a shot of some army personnel wearing swords. Not much to be seen there.
Anything on the back of these too? Or does it?
Sometimes there's just an old number on it. Yeah. Let's see what we got here next. I guess this is a shot of a bayonet being worn, but all you can see is the throttle there. See that, guys? Yeah, and here's an Imperial shot. That looks like one of those old butcher bayonets, Ob.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, isn't that something? That's a pretty good shot.
I like those butcher bayonets. That's a real.
Yeah.
It's a real weapon there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rare shot. I like that.
What's it say on the back? Some guy's name.
Guy's name, yeah. Here's a shot of a Luftwaffe NCO. It looks like wearing a first model. Oops. First model dagger.
Yeah, sure.
It looks like he doesn't have any teeth either, by the way his mouth is, but that was a problem in those days.
Well, he's got a nice dagger. The hell with the
Really
teeth.
nice dagger, yeah, yeah. And it's one of the, what we call the first model, and as we've said before, high NCOs also wore the dagger, and this guy's got a lot of airplanes on his collar tab there, so he's a pretty high NCO.
Yeah, these in-wear photos are just invaluable.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yep. Here's a looks like a naval admiral getting off the ship or something with a dagger.
It's a shame because most of the time you want to see it so bad they don't really show it off, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like they put their hip out and like, look at my chained SS or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just an accoutrement.
And here's an army officer, I guess, but the dagger looks odd to me. Look at the grip. Doesn't that look odd?
Yeah.
Doesn't the grip look too fat or something? What do you think of? Or is that the porta-pee wrapped around it, or?
It kind of looks like that. Looks like a prototype almost.
It's an odd-looking dagger.
Like a Goering industrial dagger. That's what it looks like to me.
I don't think it's that,
No,
but you never know.
So, but you never know.
And here's a Luftwaffe NCO wearing a second model dagger, as well as another one.
Oh, I think we got that one in the safe, Pop.
Think so? Yeah. Huh. And here's a very, very nice picture of a rather handsome young SA man on his marriage and marrying a half-decent looking woman too. You don't think so?
Maybe after a couple drinks.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's not bad. That's a nice picture. He's very young too. What does he look like? 18, 19 years old?
No disrespect, but it looks like his brother.
That is disrespect, dog.
I need to scan those though to really see it. You know, I need to scan them and blow them up.
Yeah. Well, the camera captures them pretty good though.
Yeah. Those in-wear pictures are invaluable. You can't beat them.
So there you go, guys. Thank you, Andrew. Like I say, Andrew, every 6 months or so, he sends me the group of in-wear pictures that he's managed to find, along with a bill. But that's okay. I like to have them. Hey, oh, yeah.
Well, that would make a great book too, you know?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
How about another drink, Pop, before we move along here?
All right. Another drink for Rob.
We're missing the game.
Yeah. Well, it's a game with the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants that apparently it means nothing because the Eagles have already made it to the playoffs. Is that correct, Bob?
Yes, they have.
Yeah, so they're playing all their second string people. So it's probably not worth watching anyhow. Would be nice if they win it though, just for fun. Well, we'll see. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're 2 ahead of me. I don't know. I'm slagging behind here.
Well, you're ahead of me in cigars, so don't worry
Too much talking from Whitman. Well, let's see what's in this box. This is coming from my old friend Jeffrey Richards. You guys might know him as he's the premier NSKK collector. Got all those daggers with the tags and bags. And, what is this? I hope this isn't a present. Oh, boy.
Yep.
A late Christmas present. Oh,
yeah, just save it for next year.
Yeah, save it for next year. I thought we did all that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. Well, I got halfway through it. I may as well do the rest here. Oh, wow. Look at this. Wow. Look at there.
There's a note on the front there.
Greetings, Thomas, and now for something different.
Yeah, it looks just like your car, Pop, except for the red panel. It'd be the same exact one.
Mine's a 61, but this is a 62. But it's the same color as mine. But yeah, you're right. I have the red panel, but Wow, that's nice, Jeffrey. I like that.
You sure maybe it's just the box?
Yeah, it's got all parts inside. That's what it is.
You used to make those models all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, with that old glue. Remember that glue that everybody was smelling all the time?
Yeah. Testers or something?
Something like that. So that's nice. Thank you very, very much, Jeff. I love Corvettes.
What's it say on the tag there on the front?
62 Corvette.
No, the note. Or did you read it
says,
already?
greetings, Thomas. Now for something different.
Oh,
Enjoy.
okay.
Jeffrey Richards, NSKK guy. In case I didn't
Here,
know.
I'll zoom in on them.
Yeah.
Get out of the way there for a second.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this is coming from
Tom, no
an
peanuts.
an old collector friend of mine for many years, James Davis. He used to be in Texas, and now he's in Oklahoma. I think he's retired now. And James used to be a Luftwaffe helmet collector. Had some of the best Luftwaffe helmets I ever saw. And then after that, he went into Thompson machine guns.
Jeez.
He had a half a dozen of them, and now he's back into Militaria again.
I like the front of it. It says, Tom, no peanuts. Priority mail.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, there we go. No peanuts. Thank you, James, for that. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. That's the padding, paper. We'll get to the heart of it soon here.
Old bag.
Let's see. Oh, looks like some kind of a bowl lob. Let's see what this is. Well, it's not Alec, I know that. It's not delicate. Looks like a gravy boat, isn't it?
DAF, KPM gravy boat? Maybe Alec, maybe.
No, it's
No?
too thick for all. Oh, that's nice though.
KPM?
No, Erlog, Eplog, Ebog, I don't know. But that's a nice Luftwaffe gravy boat.
It's a hell of an eagle on there, I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
I'm sure that's something we can use. Not for dinner, but I think we can use it. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, James.
Is
That's
it real
something
heavy? I mean,
Very heavy,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not going to break very easily. It was meant to sit in the mess hall while the bombs were going off.
I see. Okay.
Yep,
Can I see the bottom again?
yeah. I got to relight this Carlos Ruiz cigar here.
I wonder if Carlos Ruiz knows that there was a Carlos Ruiz on the Philadelphia Phillies as their catcher for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, you remember Carlos, you know?
No.
No, you don't remember him? Oh,
I
jeez.
don't know. Oh, let's see what else we got here. This is coming from Georgetown, South Carolina. Let's see what we got here. That Bob Burns cutter's working all right, Ob.
Where is it? Georgetown, South Carolina?
Georgetown, South Carolina, yep.
That's a new one to me.
Whatever it is, it's very light. Oh boy. Oh, I like this. Wow. Look at this. Boy, this is spectacular.
You sure that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That collector's is what we call a DJ knife. In my opinion, they're not really DJ knives. They're just real late Hitler Youth knives put together cheaply at after 1942. Be that as it may, it is what it is, and it's collectible. The blade, the knives on these have all aluminum hilt mounts and the black checkered grip with aluminum rivets. And then there's a little diamond that's pinned into the scabbard itself. See how that wiggles like that? You want to make sure it's pinned there and it's not something that somebody glued in, because we do see some of these knives without a swastika on them. But this one is absolutely proper. The leather's perfect, the paint is perfect. Yeah, it's a nice nice piece. Wow, the blade is stone mint.
Yeah, sure is.
Look at that with all the grain. These never had a ricasso. They were very cheaply made. That nice, no, they never had a maker mark on them either. You like that, Hub?
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's a key piece if you're collecting Hitler Youth knives. See, it's been talking about Hitler Youth a lot today, but there we go. There's something that every youth collection should have, and they're not easy to come by. And one in this condition is very, very desirable.
It's very apropos.
Apropos, yeah. Yeah, very, very nice. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, sir. I like that a lot, and I'm happy to have it. I don't think I've had one in that condition in many years. What do you think, Ab? That's really, really nice. Beautiful. All right, Ab, we got one more box here. You up for opening this one, Ab?
Sure.
Let's see what we got here. See what's in here. Yeah, this Bob Burns cutter is the best. It's amazing how good they are when you use one with a sharp blade.
That's one of mine out of my personal collection.
Yeah, well, I know I was complaining about the last one, and Bob wrote, "Look, you jerk, why don't you snap the blade off and it'll be sharp again?" And Bob's right. I just, I don't know. I didn't want to interrupt the video for that. But let's see what we got here. Well, let's see. There's a photo and documentation papers.
Where's this coming out of?
This is from my friend, Mr. Mueller, the author, that has so many things from the famous Third Reich people he met in the 1990s. And let's see what this is. Wow. Oh, there's an autographed photograph of Emmy Goering with Ida, the baby girl, who looks exactly like Herman. It's so funny. They made jokes for a long time while Ida was pregnant that that baby wouldn't have been hers because Herman wasn't capable of it. But after Ida was born, there was no denying that Herman fathered that girl. So that's a very nice thing on its own.
Must be a propaganda photo, but she signed it at a later time, right?
It was a propaganda photograph that Ida signed later in her life, when she was a grown woman. And let's see what else is here. We're documenting something. Put the glasses on. Here is this is a letter from Ida, dated 1995, and she's talking about what I'll show you here as being her mother's. And let's see what this is. And this is a letter from Mueller, which I'll read. Let's first look and see what we're documenting here. That would be nice, huh, guys? Unfortunately, Mr. Mueller is having some health problems, and so that's why you're seeing so many of the things that that he was given during his time when he knew a lot of these famous personalities in the 90s. We'll see what's in this little box. Wow, isn't this lovely? Wow.
Ooh, don't let your wife see that.
No. This is spectacular.
Wow.
Wow. This is solid gold, guys. 18 karat gold.
Inscription? No.
No, but it's there's the hallmarks on it.
So what do we got here, Pop?
Well, Mr. Mueller says, I purchased the enclosed gold bracelet in 1995 from Ida Goering in Munich. The bracelet belonged to her late mother, Emmy Goering, wife of the Reich Marshal, and Ida's father, Hermann Goering. I was first introduced and came to know Ida Goering in the early 1990s by my friend Wolf Rudiger Hess. This was Hess's son. Interesting fact, Hess, Goering, and Gudrun Berwitz, daughter of Reichsfuhrer SS Himmler, all resided in Munich at that time. I certify that this is that bracelet, Stephen Mueller. And this is the letter from Ida, that it was her mother's bracelet. And there's the beautiful thing. Ooh, that's nice, isn't it?
That is, as you would say, that is choice.
It is choice, yeah. Let me just look at the... It's marked 18 karat, .750.
Is it a German hallmark, or is it a Zeitner?
I think it's just a traditional hallmark.
Good.
Boy, that's a beautiful thing, though.
Is she wearing it in the photograph? No, you
Probably
can't see
not,
it, no.
but look at that, guys.
Yeah, that's gold.
That's really, really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's amazing the weight of gold, too, you know. It's only a bracelet, but boy, it's really heavy.
Let me see.
Look how heavy that is.
Yeah, that's nice. I think I'll wear it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a terrific, terrific piece.
Oh, it's just,
There's a lot of value in the gold itself there. Wouldn't you think there's a couple ounces, anyhow, of gold in that? Wow, it's beautiful.
I'll have to weigh it, check it. What a great piece, though.
Well, my Puerto Rican cigar is still going pretty good. You know, collectors, this is really something when you can have a prize like this, but that belonged to such a maybe infamous person, but we maybe really shouldn't say infamous as applied to Mrs. Goering. She was just Herman's wife. But just think of that, here's Emmy Goering's bracelet that obviously was bought for her by Herman, I'm sure. But you never know. Emmy was a famous actress too before Herman married her, so she may have had some means of her own also. But that's a pretty cool thing. I'm kind of falling in love with it myself. Well, okay, that's us for our first one of the new year, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We went on about a lot of different things this time, but I think it was interesting. I know you guys like to watch these things, and you don't complain when they're too long, which I appreciate. So best to you, and we'll see you next week with the next video. And if I can help you at all, let me know. Give me a call, send me an email. I appreciate it.